welcome to another episode of The Man Space. My co-host Kunle and I, week after week, are extremely grateful and honored to feature different gentlemen from different parts of the world, from different walks of life, to join us in building this community in service of a singular goal. The goal being breaking the cycle of treating men and raising boys as if they only have a singular purpose in life to provide and create output and drive results. Our goal is to create a place and a space that is safe, where boys and men have an opportunity to grow up as humans. And as humans, we are feeling beings who happen to have the capacity to think and act differently. But fundamentally, we're feeling beings. And when we deny that opportunity and that ability to feel and build tools around managing that feeling, we are creating an environment that we turn around and blame our adult men for. So, as a sister who raised two boys, as a wife of 30 years, as an educator and a practitioner in a world of men, I have seen the toll it takes. And my co host Kunle and I are committed to using conversation and dialogue as a way to break the cycle and build a better world, because strong, empowered women need equally emotionally resilient men to be our partners. And it's going to take us together to take this journey. And I love our guest's message behind the image right there. We can build if only we go over and beyond. And this is our pursuit of that. So, Michael, welcome to the Man Space. And I know you are a technology entrepreneur. You help businesses scale and grow and thrive. But all of that is what you do, but you're a larger being. Talk to us about what makes you who you are, what drives you and motivates you, and what keeps you grounded in being who you are and doing what you do.
Thank you very much, Cass. Thank you, Kule, as well. So, in a nutshell, what makes me who I am, I think it's my life experience, no, my life experience, perception, and which formed my vision. It took me longer time for me to actually have a concrete vision as an adult. Probably in my late 20s, I got to have that clear vision. And I realized it's just one single thing, that is to add value to humanity through entrepreneurial actions. That has been my mantra over a decade now, if not more. So, and how did I get into this? I grew up, being in a situation as the firstborn of three boys, and raised by a single mother. So it means I have to become adult very early in my life so that I can, be there for not just my younger ones, but as well to support my mom. So I've been doing all sort of business to survive. But in the university days, things change. I got exposed to startups and entrepreneurship, and I got into it as earlier as possible. So while doing all this, I just find it fascinating to be part of something that can become great. I find it fascinating, and I realize that my life experience, while trying to survive doing business, engaging in all sort of Lego stuff, I've come to realize how to deal with people, how to work around business, and I realize that if I just know this for myself, I don't think is enough. So I found a greater purpose in living when I realized that my life experience altogether and who I am can actually help me to help humanity, you know. And I do this through my consultancy. I've gotten grants in the past. I've been in different startups, organizations. So this experience has helped me to help startups, and also what I do in men's, like inspiring African men to live healthy and age successfully. And this actually summarize, what I do at the core and what inspires me. Thank you.
Wow, that was absolutely fantastic, Mike. And how you were able to use your life experience to create a positive impact in your world, and to also use that as a springboard to let a lot of people learn from you, and to also create a platform not only for tech startup, but for advocacy. And that is very important, because until we find that strength within, the strength without will amount to nothing. So that means resourcefulness is one of the key areas that we need to find how we, explore before exploring the natural resources on the outside, which you have absolutely highlighted. I want you to now talk to us about the gaps you found that is in existence when it comes to men in the society, most especially coming from where you are from, which is Africa. What are the missing links, gaps you found that makes you want to create this advocacy that you're creating about men staying healthy, showing their emotions, and then be a human being rather than creating that facade of being a Superman or somebody who doesn't have emotions or doesn't feel? Mike.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, um, I experienced firsthand, the negative effects of social cultural norms in Africa, especially on African men. So this was due to my experience. Immediately after university, I got involved into selling a natural supplement from an American company through the multi-level marketing scheme then, and I got to realize that most of the people that patronize this product, they are men, and they do that through online, Google. So men will rather go to Google, to social media to get solution instead of going to the hospital or seeing a therapist. They rather go there because they want to save face. That facade you actually talk about. They want to save face. They want to always appear strong. They don't want to look weak. And the negative side of it is that they fall prey to the hand of people that just want to make money. Then I was selling that product, just I want to make money, but at the same time too, I still have my conscience intact. And I see people asking me for, miracle that they want the product to do. And I'll literally tell them this cannot solve it. And one significant story that touched me is one man in his late 70s that wanted to get a product to help him manage his prostrate. The problem he was going through with enlarged prostrate. So the product I was selling there too can do little to help you manage it, but based on the man description of the problem, I feel that something is missing. I don't. So the problem was so much that I knew that I don't think this solution can solve it. So I reached out to the person that brought me to the business. He's a medical doctor trained in Russia, and he said, "Oh, with this explanation, that man already have prostate that is in advanced stage. Probably is already cancerous, and whatever you want to sell will not help the man. Just tell the man that he's going to die." I said, "I cannot say that." I told the man, "I'm sorry, this product cannot help you. You just have to keep on, you stick to your medication in the hospital and manage the pain." But it was so touching because I didn't just tell the man that answer. I actually empathize with him, care for him, to the extent that he kept on calling me. I didn't say anything to him, but he kept on calling me because he realized that I feel his pain. And it was touching that at one point in time, I even cried and liked it. So, and I come to realize, so it allowed me to do more digging and ask the doctor, and I realized that prostate is one of the easiest men's health issue that can be managed when it's discovered, in the early stage. If you discover it as early as possible, you can manage it very well and to not get to that situation. But why are men not discovering it as early as possible is because they don't speak up. When they have that discomfort and every other thing, instead of them speaking up, they don't want to say anything because that has to do with something that has to do with who they are as a man, the private part and every other thing. So, and it's also social cultural construct where our mother tells us, why are you always complaining? You are sick, you are this, be a man, are you a girl, and things like that. These are short men, discourage men from having the opportunity to speak out, and which we carry to our adult age, and always leading to this kind of situation. Something that if you have detected earlier, you could have managed it proper. So when I saw that gap, I realized that a proactive measure is needed, because at that stage, most time, whatever you are taking then, you might not be able to solve it again. But a proactive measure that allows you to start living a healthy lifestyle, seeking medical help as early as possible to prevent it from getting to a critical situation, I think is very, very needed. And there's no other way we can drive that message without advocacy, sensitization, creating a safe space where men can talk about the health challenges they are facing, and they can learn from other men that have gone through and they are doing well. So that is the gap I saw, changing that social cultural norms that is preventing men from getting medical or mental health help. So let me just summarize it there so I don't say too much.
No, what you are talking about is truly powerful. And these are some of the side effects of the mistakes women make in raising their sons and fathers make in raising their sons, right? Because what we are not allowed to talk about becomes a private shame. That's a fact of life. And that leads to not just physical health issues, mental health issues. And that is something my co-host Kunle is extremely passionate about. And I have watched in my own professional career a friend of mine who was a CEO, who worked for the CIA, took his own life. I had an IT consultant who attempted suicide at work. I had to rush him to the hospital. I've had employees, men who have attempted suicide because they don't even know how to voice what is hurting them, whether it's physical, mental, psychological. We have to change this. And I love the passion with which you're approaching this. And I also am energized by how you have taken the challenges of your childhood, and instead of allowing a scab to grow around it, you've allowed your heart to grow out of it, right? And so that is where the power is. You're comfortable in your masculinity to then embrace the nurturing and the caregiving of a feminine energy we all have inside of us, right? We're not
Yes.
one extreme or the other, finding that right balance. How does it feel to navigate life as a male entrepreneur, hoping all of this productive outcome, and yet embracing the compassion and empathy in you, which are the gift of the feminine component of our energy? How do you
Okay. Thank you.
balance that, and how does it feel? Because a lot of men are afraid to show that.
Thank you. Thank you for that question. Kunle will understand why I like that question. We had a discussion few days ago around this. So so the question is how do I balance as an entrepreneur, and also how do I feel having to embrace that feminine energy. So naturally, I'm a non-conformist. So it means I'm not in any extreme. So I'm not, even when it comes to religion, how I see life, I'm not in any extreme. I always believe that there's other way to do things better. So which allowed me to always innovate. So I grew up with a single mother, so I didn't. So, for a long time, I didn't actually have that masculine figure, that masculine role. But I took it upon myself. I schooled very close to my to the village, and my godfather, who actually helped me in sponsoring me to school, is a king. He's a king. He's a prominent man in Nigeria, politics. Very strong man. One time financial minister. So I learned that from him, and I've come to realize that if someone that's that powerful can still have that ability to empathize And also beyond that too, I think I find it so. I just say I would say I'm a different person. So before, what actually got me to always stay in tune and embrace the feminine energy is the fact that I'm always in tune with my inner child. Things that fascinates me growing up still fascinates me now. I love fish. I love the water, everything underwater fascinates me until now. They still fascinate me until now. And I still keep in touch with that. And with that, it allows me to embrace both my feminine and masculine energy. Because as a child, they don't know anything. They don't know the difference of masculinity or femininity. You know, they are playful, they express themselves, nothing like feminine or masculine energy. They embrace both. And I can tell you, I find it hard to always believe that I'm above 30. I'm right now in my mid towards to late 30, but I still feel young at heart. And I think that's my secret. It allows me to embrace that inner child, allowed me to embrace my feminine and masculine energy. And so far, so good. Has been a wonderful journey for me. And it allows me to become a better leader as well, because most of the people that work with me, I have a startup and also, health tech startup, Enthusiast Express. The people that work with me, I think they can speak for it that I'm straight, and I apply pressure when I need to apply pressure, and sometimes I just have to acknowledge the fact that you have tried your best, and even when you make a mistake, how can we help you out of this situation? So for me, I always embrace the both side of me, the masculine energy and the feminine energy. I just ensure that I know when it's needed, and it has been an awesome journey for me because it allowed me to always see things from different angle, and it has made me to be a better leader. Yeah, that's what I can say about that.
Wow, that's so powerful, so fantastic. And I mean, you put that expressly. When you spoke about you embracing your inner child, the things that, what that, says to me is connection. A whole lot of people fail to connect with who they are. And that is one thing that we need when we constantly connect with ourselves. I call it the three dimensions of connection when you have to connect within, which is with yourself. And then there is also out, and as well as you connecting beyond. I mean, connecting that question that I am going to ask you, which is about the men's diary. You have a clubhouse whereby you put men together. I want you to speak to what is behind the vision about the men's diary, because I've been there and it's an amazing group of people coming together to share and care without having any fear of being judged. Talk to us about the men's diary.
Thank you very much, Kule. I'm always glad when I have the opportunity to do that. So after my experience with the man, I explained my story earlier on that I had a prostrate. I had it in my mind that I have to do something, but I don't know how to do it. So 3 years later, or 2 years later, COVID-19, and there was lockdown. And during the lockdown, then Clubhouse, I joined Clubhouse, and for the first time, I had that real connection with people, real connection with people beyond just the social media. Like it wasn't like normal social media where you tweet, you post. I had real connection with people from outside Nigeria, Nigerian diaspora, and we started talking, and I started seeing things from different angle. Before that time, despite the fact that I know about elderly and everything, I still struggle to talk about mental health. Mental health to me is something very mystery, and the fact that I need to talk about it, it always triggered me. It always take me back to how I grew up, my experience. So most time I run away from that discussion. But on Clubhouse, the kind of people I met, they are mostly Nigeria, in the UK, in the US, and they are comfortable about talking about mental health. They talk a lot of things and every other thing. I'm like, okay. So, and it puts me in that spot to always to give it a thought and realize it's very, very important. There are so many problems I was having with myself that I could not manage. But when I started talking about mental health, then it led to me having to see a therapy for the first time, a therapist for the first time. And from there, I realized the importance as well. So I like, okay, I now reach out to my friend like Camille and other people like, what if we have a platform where men can actually have that safe space to talk not just about mental health. There's something that's been bothering me before now, how prostrate is actually affecting black heart disease is very common to black. The statistics shows that heart and prostrate, it kills black man more than other race. Like how can we have a platform where we create that safe space for men to come and share about their health challenges or even learn from other people how they have overcome these challenges. And sometimes we brought, uh, you know, subject experts, like Mr. Kunle brought at that time. We do sometimes we bring medical doctor, we brought um, health insurance expert in the US that let you know how to get the best out of your insurance package, different people. So the goal is to we try to create a safe space for men to learn from each other experience and also to share what they are going through. And most importantly, you know, uh, that safe space, that place for men, and to let you know that you matter too. It's not just about you hustling and bustling to make money. There's other side to you too. And sometimes in our room, we just talk about life generally, just that chit chat. Sometimes I look forward to Sunday because of the kind of connection. It's always new every time. You also learn from different people's perspective. I will not lie to you. I created Men's Diary, thinking that I want to help people, which is still the goal. But at the end of the day, I've helped myself more with Men Diary, with what I've learned, the kind of connection. In fact, if it wasn't for Men Diary, I would not even be on this platform. The fact that I invited Mr. Kune to Men Diary, see what we are doing, and he gave me this wonderful opportunity. So that's what Men Diary has been all about, and it has been a massive impact. We clocked 2 years last month, and I'm happy to be part of the people that have found this community.
Thank you. Thank you so much for everything you do, Michael. And I just am very appreciative with the care and compassion with which you do it, but you're also doing it with a deep sense of self-awareness. When we can hang on to our inner child, we keep wonderment alive, we keep curiosity alive, and we keep joy alive. And those are the things into adulthood people let die, right? And when those things
Yes.
die, we become like machines. We're dead inside. So if you were to give advice to men out there on how to capture and hold on to that inner child that gives you the ability to introspectively find joy, have a sense of wonder, and be curious and not be afraid of being judged, what would you say to men?
I like that question. I want to try my best to answer the best way possible. Okay, so what I will say is this. I will say, I will say, don't be afraid, to express, um, don't be afraid to still go after what makes you, happy. That thing, that spark you had, growing up. Don't be afraid. And sometimes we pay too much attention to what people will say. What people will say. We try. I think this the main problem preventing people from going tapping to their inner child is conformity to the social norms. Conformity to the social norms. I think that's the problem. What I will advise that don't conform completely to the social norms, because question the social norms, and most importantly, don't be afraid to express that inner child of you. And at the same time, too, as a man, it's always good for us to believe that we are much more than our circumstances. I think that's another thing. We have to find a way to separate who we are from the circumstances we find ourselves. The moment we get engulfed and we make the circumstances we find ourselves everything about us, then we've lost our inner child. There's more to us beyond our circumstances. You're firstborn, you're lastborn, you're the husband. There's more to you than just being husband. There's more to you than just being a provider, a protector. There's more to you. And you have to stay true to that part of you, that's real you. And when life happens, we should approach life, in a way like, oh, it's life, this is gonna pass, but this is not me. I think I will not lie to you. It is very, very easy as a man, especially in Africa, to forget yourself. In fact, even before you become a full adult, even your teen, you already forget who you are at the core. You want to be what the society has defined you to be. You know, the circumstances around you has already defined who you are. I always tell someone right from my university days, I said, my colleagues, they are not the people in this classroom. My colleagues are not the people in Nigeria. I'm adding value to myself. I'm doing everything I'm doing because I want to be, part of the global world generally. I want to be anywhere and be reckoned with. And I know there's something about me, my uniqueness, that will make me stand out. So I always embrace that who I am inside, and I never allow my society to allow me to conform or let it be my own definition. So what I will summarize is, don't allow your circumstances to define who you are. You are much more than just the family provider or the husband or with the working class, or if you are struggling now, that is not who you are. So we have to find our time to tap into who we are deep inside. And I'm not lying to you, but the first time I started seeing and going for therapy, my therapist asked me that, he asked me those questions, and it helps me to actually establish myself very well. He said, like, I should try my best to do those things that fascinate me, even though it doesn't make sense to the world. To try and stay in tune with those things, go back to doing them. I play basketball too. I play basketball too. So I actually try my best to play basketball at least once in a while. And I like staying around children. It gives me joy. I play with them. I lost myself in that process, just play. So yeah, what I would say is that you are much more than your circumstances. Don't allow that to define you. Try to tap to who you are inside. Try to go after those things that makes you happy, those things that fascinate you. That would be my advice. Thank you
Wow.
very much.
That was absolutely amazing. Look at how you were just dropping those nuggets, and they are so powerful. Thank you so much, Michael. It's been amazing. It's been amazing. A lot of men out learns they will learn from your insights and your thoughts that you've shared on this particular episode of the Man's Space. Before we let you go, time with us, how people can get hold of you, how they can reach out to you on so many platforms that you're in.
Okay,
So,
yeah, thank you very much. I'm very frequent on Instagram and LinkedIn. Instagram and LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, Olorunfemi Michael. While on Instagram, enthusiast underscore Mike. Enthusiast, normal spelling, underscore Mike on Instagram. Yeah, they can connect with me. I talk mostly about men's health, how they live in, and business general. Yeah, thank you.
wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much for gracing our our podcast and for making yourself available and then sharing the wisdom you have shared. Dr. Kaz and I sincerely appreciate your time, your wisdom, and then we look forward to seeing you more. And we are sure when we call again, we'll get a yes from you, just as we did now. And that comes to, I mean, that's how we come to the end of today's episode of The Man's Space. Like I do say, Dr. Cass and I will come again with another amazing guest as we do. All you've got to do is just stick around, get your notification on about The Man's Space so you will not miss any of the episode at all. Stay blessed. Goodbye for now.